welcome back to my channel, Plenty of Goodness. If you are new to this channel, give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for future videos just like this one, weekly delicious plant-based gluten-free meal prep. So the first meal, guys, we're gonna do is going to be pesto spiral pasta. I went with the spiral noodle just because they're fun and something different. I went with the red lentil. You can do red lentil, green lentil. You can do edamame noodles. You can do black bean. So it's just really up to you. It's your preference. I went with this. This is really high in protein. There's at least 23 grams for the whole box. So it's pretty substantial. I got 2, so we're gonna need 2 boxes of the red lentil pasta. And we have your nutritional yeast. This nutritional yeast, especially for vegans, it mimics, it's very nutty, but it also mimics like a cheesy flavor. So that's really good. This is also very high in protein. It has your B vitamins too, your B12, which is really important for vegans. And then we're gonna do the roasted garlic, organic Del Grasso tomato sauce, your baby bella mushrooms, 2 zucchini, or you can do squash. Got your diced tomatoes, and then we're gonna do the organic basil pesto vegan sauce. Okay guys, let's start making the pasta. Okay, first you wanna boil water, then add the pasta, and then you're gonna cook for 7 minutes. And if you want it, if you want the pasta a little bit more tender, just cook an additional 1 to 2 minutes, so about 9 minutes. I'm gonna go 8 minutes, I'm gonna go in between. And then while the pasta's cooking, add vegan butter. You're gonna throw the zucchini in. Don't mix it right away. Just as soon as you coat the pan with zucchini, just let it settle for a few minutes. Cook on high heat, add some vegan butter. And then just so it gets brown like this, once you start smelling the aroma of the zucchini, then you can toss it. And then now we're gonna incorporate the mushrooms. And cook on high for a few more minutes, and then we're going to drain the pasta and rinse and add to the jars. Okay, as soon as the zucchini and mushrooms are done cooking, turn off the heat, and then I incorporated the canned tomatoes, and then I added 6 teaspoons of the pesto sauce, and just mix it together really well, and we're gonna transfer it to the jars. Okay, so after the pasta and the veggies are done, just transfer them to jars evenly. And then you're going to add, I did 3 tablespoons each of the nutritional yeast. Remember that acts like a mimic of a cheesy flavor. And then I added the tomato sauce, like the marinara, the garlic, roasted garlic. I just put a little bit in each jar, and then I just added another teaspoon of the pesto on top. And so you can, if you find yourself not finishing the jars within the week, by the end of the week, you can always freeze these. Freeze half of them and use 2 of them, or you can that way they stay fresh in the freezer, or you can eat them. You can eat them all. So yeah, okay guys, that's it for the pesto spiral noodles. Looks really delicious. And let me know what you guys think of this recipe. Next meal prep, you guys, is going to be a ramen veggie bowl. This is going to be really easy to make, even though this looks like a lot of ingredients. Definitely need all the bold flavors in there. So I picked up the shiitake mushrooms. I got 2 packets just because I love mushrooms, and you can kind of tweak it however you like. I got the tofu shirataki spaghetti noodles. I got 3 packets because they're really small, fine noodles, and want to have a good amount in the ramen bowl. And then I went with the ginger organic paste, and we're going to do some bean sprouts and some minced garlic, or you can do fresh garlic. Minced garlic is just a little bit easier. We're going to do some green onion, and I couldn't find vegan miso paste at the grocery store, so I went with these little, these are instant, ready to go miso soup, but I figured we could just use the individual package for the miso flavor. You don't have to add the miso paste, but it just adds more flavor and a little bit more salt as well. And we're going to do our veggie broth, our tamari soy sauce, our red onion, And we're gonna do mint to make it fresh and top it off. So the first thing we're gonna do, you guys, is we're going to cut the onion and saute the onion and garlic first. Okay, so first up, you're gonna cut the onion, and then you're gonna cut it in half, and then lengthwise, and then leave them a little bit on the bigger side, and then we're going to add a little vegan butter on high heat, incorporate the onion, saute that for a few minutes, add the garlic, and then we're going to add the veggie broth. Okay, after you add the veggie broth, you're gonna bring it to a boil, then you're gonna add the shirataki noodles. So make sure you drain and rinse the shirataki noodles before adding them to the pot. And I will tell you guys this, it is a little bit of, don't be alarmed of the smell. When you open up the noodle package, it smells like fish. But just make sure you rinse thoroughly in cold water. And then we're gonna boil these noodles for 2 to 3 minutes. And then while this is boiling, we're going to, in the meantime, we're going to cut the shiitake mushrooms, cut the stem off and then cut them lengthwise. You want a little bit of chunky, and then rinse and cut the green onion. And then after the noodles are done boiling, we're going to incorporate the tamari and the ginger and the miso seasoning. Okay guys, so there you have your ramen veggie bowl. So after you incorporate all the ingredients into the pot, let it cool down and then transfer to the jars evenly. And then I added the mung bean sprouts and then the green onion and the mint last on top. And you can actually choose to freeze this as well. If you're not gonna eat all 4 of the jars, you can freeze half and then eat half now during the week. And actually, you want to incorporate 2 of the veggie broth containers. 1 isn't enough. 1 is 32 ounces, so you need at least 40 ounces, something like that. Look how delicious that is. I can't wait for you guys to try this. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this recipe. On to meal prep 3. Last but not least, you guys, is going to be meal prep number 3. And we're going to do a tofu veggie scramble. So I have your high protein, super firm tofu. This one you just need to rinse and pat dry. And then you can either break apart with your hands or cut it into cubes. And we got your red organic onion, 2 organic bell peppers, your white button mushrooms, and I went with chives. You can choose to put shredded cheese in your scramble. I always think it tastes better. And this adds a little bit more substance, but it's up to you. And we're going to do a little bit of organic garlic minced. You can do fresh minced, so I just have this left over. And then the vegan butter. This is my favorite brand. This is the only one that's organic besides the Earth Balance. And then we're going to add nutritional yeast. Remember, it acts like a cheesier flavor. So if you're going to do nutritional yeast and the shredded cheese, maybe add a little bit of the cheese and more of the nutritional yeast, just because this has more protein and more fiber. This doesn't have any fat or protein or fiber or sugar. But so you can do one or the other, or you can do both. But I recommend doing more of the nutritional yeast and less of the cheese if you can do both. Okay guys, let's wash and cut the veggies. Okay, first you want to rinse and cut all the veggies. Cut the onion lengthwise, and then you're going to cut it in half. Just leave them a little bit on the chunkier side. And then you're going to cut the bell pepper lengthwise 3 times, and then in half 2 times. And then we're going to rinse the tofu. You don't have to pat dry if you don't want. It's not as absorbent as the extra firm tofu. And then we're going to rinse the mushrooms, and then we're going to saute. Okay, after you rinse and cut all the veggies, you're going to put the saucepan on high heat, add some vegan butter. Then you're going to put the onions first, cook the onions for a minute or 2, and then add the garlic. Then you're going to add the bell peppers, We're going to cook this for a few more minutes, and then we're going to incorporate the mushrooms last. And after the mushrooms cook for a minute or two, then we're going to crumble in the tofu. Okay, next you're going to crumble up the tofu, add vegan butter to the pan on high heat, and let it sit for a few minutes, and then we're just going to keep tossing it. And then I turned off the heat off the veggies, and I incorporated nutritional yeast and the vegan cheese. So we're going to mix this, and then we're going to, after the tofu's done, then we're going to transfer everything to the jars. And I rinsed and patted dry the chives. For maximum flavor, you're supposed to add them last to your cooking. So I'm going to add those very last into the tofu when it's almost done cooking. And then we'll transfer everything to the jars. So the last thing I did, you guys, was just added the chives right before the end of the tofu cooking. And then I actually incorporated the chives and the veggies as well. And I did add a little bit of turmeric. That's why it is yellow colored. You can choose to do that or not. Don't add too much because turmeric is really powerful, it's really strong, and it can become bitter if you have too much. So next we're going to transfer to the jars. Alright, you guys made your tofu veggie scramble. This is going to be really delicious, you guys. Probably one of my favorites. Very savory, lots of flavor. And you just can't beat the cheesiness without all the regular cholesterol and fat and saturated fat that regular dairy brings. But the vegan mozzarella, the vegan dairy is amazing. It's no fat, no carbs, no sugar, no protein. So let me know what you guys think of this recipe, tofu veggie scramble. Yum. Alright, good job you guys. You finished another meal prep week. Let me know which one is your favorite for this week. And remember, if you can't finish all these jars for this week, you can freeze the pasta, and I would freeze the ramen. But I wouldn't freeze the tofu scramble, just because I don't think it would taste as good. But the longer you keep them in the freezer, that's totally fine. They won't get freezer burn. They'll stay really fresh because the lids are sealed tight. And whenever you're ready, you can eat them. Whenever you're ready to eat them, you can thaw them in the microwave, and the glass won't break, which is really nice. Or you can, defrost it in the microwave, then transfer it to a bowl or a plate, and then heat it up that way. Okay, guys. Thank you for your support. If you are new to my channel, please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel for future videos, weekly delicious meal preps, plant-based and gluten-free. Okay guys, see you next week. Bye.